back, ladies and gentlemen, to the HGC EU Crucible. Once again, for those of you who are just joining us, you're a little late because it might end this game, but I am Tetra, and I am joined, of course, by Kaldor. And like I just said, this could be the last game of Europe today.
Exactly, and especially setups like this already worry me in a best of 5. In a best of 7, it's even worse, because now it's only one map. And again, the psychological aspect is really important here. Yes, we have veterans on the side of Granit Gaming, but not all of them have been in this situation. And that is mainly talking about the HGC setup. That's something that especially the open divisions that came in the past have always talked about, that this is very different. There's a lot more pressure on them.
Yeah.
And now you know that your opponent only needs a single map, and that worries you immediately, where you're just sitting there, it's like, we gotta win 3 in a row now. And it's very, very easy to get into that mindset where you already have more or less given up and you try to go just simply through the motions. And that is really where the veterans are needed right now to tell them, guys, this is still possible. We can still make this happen.
They know they can win.
Yes.
That is the thing. It's just the question of, can they win? I don't want to use the term well enough, but can they win when they're already that far behind and already in that kind of a rough position, when in the past we've seen them might be to hide strategies, but go a little bit out there when it comes to being behind and being in that do or die situation. Here is the next map. It is going to be, you called it, but they're going there themselves. Leftovers, taking us to Volskaya Foundry. Kaldor is having a crisis, ladies and gentlemen.
I find that so interesting.
So explain to people why it is so interesting for those who might just be joining us.
Because leftovers are just hot trash on Volskaya.
Not the term I would use, but yeah.
If you're 0-6 on a map, why would you pick that? Especially if you still have maps where you actually look good. They have, for example, Infernal Shrines where they have 4 wins and 6 losses. So a lot of regular play. And for them in HGC, a very, very decent win ratio compared to their average win rate. And that is also a map, Infernal, where their opponent, Granit Gaming, struggles a bit more. They have 4 games played, 2 wins, 2 losses. But on Volskaya, Granit Gaming has only played a single game, and they won that. So the map picks and bans on Leftover's side are insanely interesting to me here today.
They've also left Samuro open. This is a pretty decent Samuro map, Kaldor. I have concerns for Leftovers. We just started, and I have several. But let's see what they can do. Maybe they've said they've practiced a lot of maps.
I mean, coming back to what I said earlier, when Dragonshire was chosen, which surprised me even more, that if you have a certain pocket draft where you say, okay, we practice this against teams, we of course studied our opponent, we know what maps they usually like to play, and we studied their playstyle there. So if you develop a draft where you say, okay, this is going to beat them hands down, and we have a few variations depending on what they ban and pick for themselves, that can work. But when we talked about that on Dragonshire, we didn't really get to see that. Yes, we had the Chen pick up at the top lane, so that was a bit of a specialty, a special flavor that they threw in. Yeah. But it wasn't really anything where, especially with letting Samuro through, it wasn't anything where I said, okay, this is going to be the answer. It doesn't mean that Leftovers can't win here. They already have a great start into the draft. Stukov is amazing here, but I'm still baffled that they would go to a map where they are insanely weak compared to other maps that they are still available.
Still open, like you said. They could go to Cursed Hollow, more standard. They could have just tried to play around that, ban Samuro there. You know you've got a pretty set draft to go up against.
Especially Infernal. Again, Infernal stands out to me. You're absolutely right about what you just said about Curse. Curse is another option for them.
Yeah.
But especially Infernal would be the map where I say, like, pick it now. You have the momentum going for yourself already. But, okay, we have Hanzo banned, we have Maiev banned. Granit Gaming really doesn't like going up against Maiev after the first game that was played. You talked here about Samuro on the other hand. Are we going to see that
Still
now?
open. Like, okay, Johanna and Samuro. I was going to say maybe Tracer Samuro, but I don't hate the Johanna here. It definitely means they can go perhaps for a Junkrat and go a little bit more poke focus and try and win that way. Chromie removal, that's fair. Granit Gaming have snuck that in once or twice in the past, getting that nice little burst damage.
Yep. They played 3 times with Chromie, won only one of the games with her, but of course it's again map dependent. on which map do you really see her a lot, and Volskaya is one of them.
Volskaya and Praxis are basically
Tomb to an extent, exactly, yeah. So there's a few, but now they have to deal with Samuro again, and that didn't go too well the last time that they had to face off against that.
So now Granit, it is their ban. Tracer is very sensible. They didn't pick it up themselves. Stukov still good with it. It's a solid, safe ban. But they have left, in terms of assassins, neither team have gone for anything ranged yet.
Yeah, also main tanks for leftovers is still a concern. But yeah, when we're talking about the damage dealer, what exactly is leftovers going to choose here? This is another good map where with wave clear and everything that you can accomplish around the fight on the control point, Gul'dan, if you want to go for a mage, could of course work out. We have seen a bit of a tendency towards Li Ming as well, simply because the reset mechanics are strong. Genji is still around, so there's a lot of options for leftovers here when it comes to actual damage output.
Arthas is also open. Here comes Genji, and they're going with BTC. Block Party can be pretty decent against Samuro. Arthas, of course, could have gained a lot of stacks, but doesn't have as good hard engage when you have Blaze as your second tank, so ETC makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, from HGC teams, I would also not expect Arthas to be seen.
He's fallen out of favor a lot.
Yeah, very, very heavily. We have seen him back in North America a little bit, but in Europe, Arthas plays a very insignificant role.
Yeah, it's basically I counter Illidan or other such melee, and that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. So now you have ETC, and that's always our favorite. And in this case, ETC has Blaze to his side, so that mitigates some of the
blow-up potential.
Yeah, the blow-up potential against ETC that we've seen on the last game, but also in the past. You have an ETC next to you that usually helps you out quite easily with that. So the Stukov, Blaze, ETC setup here definitely can work out for them. ETC is, of course, also threatening that front line very heavily. Again, Lauber is great with that hero. And it would allow you for a lot of different picks on that last damage slot, because they can create the space.
And Abathur coming in here with a Phoenix as the damage dealer. And Cassia.
So I am worried about that setup between Abathur and Samuro more so than anything else, because the thing with those two in one composition is you can commit to structures very easily, where you say with an Abathur Samuro you simply move in and you claim a fort, a
core
keep.
Ending potential.
Yes, exactly, and that's frightening. So when we talked about Dragonshire, we talked a lot about how do they deal with Samuro, and they had huge problems doing that.
Yeah.
That usually just emphasizes it if you have an Abathur on that setup now as well. And it's also kill potential that you have. Samuro can actually really chunk damage, especially in the later stages of the game, after level 7, for example. So there's a huge amount of damage you can push out immediately. If then an Abathur head jumps on top of you, good luck to backliners. So there's definitely a lot that Granit Gaming can do now.
I'm wondering what their reaction is. Do they have to go stage dive, for example, just to have someone who can react to that counter pressure? But Samuro's so mobile, it can get shut down anyway.
If leftovers lose here, they can't complain about it.
Yeah.
They basically chose a map where they, historically speaking, underperformed, where their opponent has a good track record. They also chose a map where Samuro, a trademark hero of their opponent, is strong, and they didn't ban it. And now they're going up against that with Abathur. If it works out, then it's all good, no problem.
If it works out, they've won.
Exactly, then it's over. But if they lose here, then you can't complain. You chose them. You put yourself in a spot where you gave your opponent everything they wanted.
Yeah.
Granit Gaming is looking at the map, is looking at the draft, and said, if we can't win this one, then we don't deserve to be in HGC, because this is the dream for us right now.
Well, let's see if Leftovers' gamble will pay off. They just need this one game as we are heading in to Volskaya Foundry here. And on the left side, with some risky picks here, it is Leftovers, with Blakitny playing Genji, Blaze being played by Potiboss, Stukov played by Linked, ETC played by Lauber, and finally Cassia played by DAB.
And over to the right side of the map, Ulf on Johanna for Granit Gaming. We have more monkey business with Kirba on Samuro, Knappe on Malfurion, Raid Boss on Abathur, and Phoenix, played by Minecraft.
We've mentioned the win rate of Samuro before. Kura on this hero is terrifying. So far in this series, they've won 100% of the games they've played in it as well, so add that to the list as they start to put on pressure. Do Leftovers deal with it this time? Let's find out.
5-1, including the game today. They are 5-1 on Samuro. Wow. So this is going to be another potential. I mean, the late game especially is, of course, what concerns us. The same that we've been talking about on Dragonshire is still true, but you play against Stukov and you play against Cassia now. And talking about Cassia, I want to highlight really quickly that we have an adjustment in terms of the Cassia build.
Yeah.
Now, Lightning Fury was a heavy commitment for leftovers on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and DAB did a fantastic job stacking, but now we are heading into Charge Strikes.
Yeah, very old-fashioned.
Also, I want to say a bit of an adjustment to the setup that you're running against, of course, but definitely going to be... The bounces in particular are really interesting here against the Samuro setup, so that definitely plays a role here as well. But yeah, I'm curious to see if Kieva can pull it off again.
Linked is... sorry, not Linked, but Kidney. It's cleaning up top lane. Phoenix is on that off lane as well, getting a little bit of solo rotation even in on his own, making the most of that AoE damage.
Yeah, they basically have two solo laners that they can use now. So when we're talking about Volskaya, item control is incredibly popular, and also, of course, one of the best tools that you have to dominate one of the objective phases when the control points become active. We have seen especially Team Liquid being highly successful on the map by just controlling items throughout the entire game and making sure that every time they head into an objective, they have that advantage. So both of the teams are already looking to gain control of exactly that. And for leftovers, that even means that they are, at least for now, willing to commit to the healing pulse up at the top since they're going up against the Abathur setup.
Ulf using his face to try and zone out the members of leftovers, but he is a little bit outnumbered. The camp also pulls almost all the way to the lane due to the amount of zoning leftovers were doing. They are able to claim that bio-emitter.
Yeah, now there is, of course, a bit of a trade-off, and that's what we're seeing down here at the bot lane. So the push is still going strong. Portibus didn't lose out on too much of the experience, but the tower is now under pressure, and that's definitely something where Granit Gaming later on is going to try and focus on heavily. Again, what is one of the concerns here? The concern is that with an Abathur head, Samuro can easily snipe structures later on in the game, and this is what you have to be careful about. The longer this game goes, the better for Granit Gaming. A late game on this map would put Samuro with Abathur into a spot where they can literally go for core.
So all they need is a keep. Once a keep is down, then that is the game-ending potential always up and always available. So leftovers, they have to win the early game. They have to start grabbing those protectors. Here's a quick start on Minecraft. This would be pretty good timing, but he's able to pull back. Even gets the shield on top of his own thanks to Abathur.
Yeah, also good play by Johanna, going into the jet propulsion, into the stun to make sure that Phoenix is not locked down for even longer, so that was important. But now we have the first objective. Both of the teams on level 6. We have a couple of turrets already taken. The extra healing pulse on the side of leftover, so a slight advantage in terms of item control.
Yeah, it's pre-level 10, so Abathur Ultimate Evolution not available, so advantage for leftovers again coming in there.
At the top lane, though, the camp has been defeated from leftovers, so now we are having more push potential from Granit Gaming, and leftovers will have to rotate some on top to not lose too much here.
This looks like the strategy, actually, for Granit Gaming. They have no intention of fighting over this protector. Instead, moving straight in to put pressure on multiple lanes. Samuro pressuring bot lane still. Mid lane, Johanna's cleaning that super quickly, and top lane, with that extra mercenary and Phoenix, they continue to counter push. Now they forced a rotation, so they're trying to put some pressure to the lane mid and get even more value. Great silence by Stukov. Johanna nowhere to go. Iron Skin though could be enough, and we see Johanna getting out.
That was actually impressive that Ulf was able to move out of this one, especially with Lauber just moving past him and pushing him back into the silence. Great job here by Ulf moving out of it. But now, of course, the first protector has been claimed. And let's face it, if you run the setup that Granit Gaming has, you're willing to give this one up. And you could really tell the way they moved on the map.
And you can see here, they've actually come out ahead in XP. This will change very quickly. Spray dropped there by Minecraft, unfortunately. Standard heroes of the Storm Spray. As we see a quick protector moving in, grabbing towers. This will even up the XP, maybe give leftovers a pretty decent lead, depending on how many towers they can grab, or even if they can grab a fort.
If they are able to move into the mid game on even talents, on the other hand, that's definitely something where Granit Gaming will consider this a win.
Yeah.
So right now, they are still even in experience. They're still doing well here. And leftovers, they can still take some of those towers and structures down, no doubt about it. The protector is chunking away here, and they move through the middle. They have that slight lead in XP now, but it's nothing too crazy yet. And there haven't been any kills in this entire game so far.
See the attempt to change that by Granit Gaming, but Linked easily able to pull back. Hasn't even used his bio-emitter yet, holding on to that very nicely. Granit, they poke the support camp, looking to get their own bio-emitter, but Lauber here to say hello and show that his team were thinking about moving in, but actually it's a bait as the bot turret is taken once again.
Item control, just continuing. Samuro does the same thing. So he's currently busy at the side, claiming a camp now too. Once those guys are off cooldown, you really want to go for them. But Granit Gaming is heading into level 10 around the same time that Leftovers will just a slight bit behind.
Yeah, half a level.
And that's absolutely okay from their point of view.
Valkyrie, once again. DAB, since all the way back when he was in Open Division, really big fan of this Cassia and giving his team even more engaged potential. Now, from ETC, will we see him take stage dive to perhaps react to that Samuro if there's potential core all-in potential, or is he going to just try and snowball his team ahead with team fights?
It's a really good question, and I'm curious myself to see what he does. Traditionally, it's more so the mosh pit play that Lauber goes for, but in that setup, they might be worried enough about Samuro that he says we need something to react quickly to any kind of move here. So Kieva down at the bot lane, again putting the pressure in. Great item control, by the way, from Leftovers. We talked about that already a bit, but they have now 2 healing pulses, and they also have those turrets. So for the next objective, they're definitely finding themselves in a really cool spot.
Twilight Dream for Malfurion, no Tranquility this time. Kinda digging it, because if you get pulled in by Cassia, Tranquility's not going to save you. What might? Burst and Silence. Here's the plan. Purification Salvo getting dropped. DAB gets deleted here as Ulf looks to hold Lauber back, but a good massive shove by Lynx will save the ETC.
Yeah, the shove comes out, and that was, of course, a bit too late here, but ETC at least gets out. Cassia down is a problem, though. And now we have also the level 10 abilities, just doing way more for Samuro now that he is Illusion Master ready. And Leftovers, they just suffered 1 death, and Granit Gaming, I think Granit Gaming is very happy about what's going on so far.
Yeah. First blood acquired. Minecraft teleporting out, preventing the counter kill. Mosh pit too late. The Twilight Dream stops the Dragon Blade. I love it. Minecraft survives, and wow, where you burn 2 of the most powerful heroics of the enemy team and give them nothing.
I am massively worried for Leftovers.
I agree.
Samuro is getting stronger and stronger as the game continues, and he is already gaining huge value for the team, just in experience alone. And not getting these kills for Leftovers is an issue. Them losing heroes as well is making matters even worse. The question that still remains is the objective control. And that's where Leftovers can still rely on having way more items than their opponent, where they can get that to access another protector. And the question is, can Granit Gaming really fight for it? Again, the Valkyrie not hitting, but the silence is there. And that was a good one. And Minecraft this time goes down. These are the kills that the Leftovers need to get.
Lauber with that face melt, interrupting the warp. That is so clutch, and such good timing for Leftovers as they begin to channel the Protector area, and this could be their second of the game.
Yeah, and this was an important one. I like this, as I said a second ago, I'm a little bit worried for Leftovers, but if they continue to get these kills, if they continue to play that aggression, then that would be a lot better for them. And they're really trying to already pressure Johanna now too. They still have control over the point, so while they look for that second kill, they still have the top control. Now, Samuro is, of course, the X factor here that can always try and get structures, as we said before, with Abathur. And that's continuing. That will become even stronger once that he reaches the late game. But Leftovers are trying to win through the objective. Granit Gaming is willing to give that up to play the macro game.
Time is pulled. Here comes Abathur onto Johanna to give her a little bit of extra sustain. The Valkyrie lands on Phoenix, but he runs towards the enemies to give himself the best chance of escaping. Gets massive shoved, though, and taken out.
Ulf missed his Blessed Shield here. He was trying to go for the Blessed Shield to just buy some time, and that missed. So that was a big problem. Now there's the second Protector. But lo and behold, what have we talked about earlier? Structure pressure. That's exactly what we're seeing through Kieva. So they are trying to get those structures down through Samuro, whereas the opposite is true for Leftovers. Team fights and winning objectives is more so what path they are trying to use to win this game. And with a second Protector, they can now start to set themselves up ahead pretty heavily. Taking the fort at the top lane has given them that experience boost, as we spoke about.
Looks like they're looking for mid fort as well, pinging a little bit of damage. Actually misses the jump, runs out of range for the jump. But they want to try and put some pressure on it. If they can get 2 forts out of this, this is good, because Samuro will eventually get bot fort as well. So they want to try and get themselves ahead, not just put themselves in that even position. Getting out of there. Kurwa, too fast. Can't get him.
Yeah, nice attempt to get the kill here with the Valkyrie even committed to, but Kiva definitely just smashing his buttons at the right moment in time. Now the pressure play, and Phoenix is down again. Leftovers with a great kill, starting to build that momentum. And level 16 is just about to hit for them. Good play around that second protector. Definitely start to put Granit Gaming into an awkward spot.
Second fort taken out, like we said, exactly what they wanted, and it's in the Samuro lane. That's marvelous. Remove his retreat angle, you can have a wonderful time there.
The fence is really rough for Granit Gaming, and now they are a level behind. So this is where Abathur and Samuro really need to start and chunk down structures and get the experience back for them. Already the pressure at the top, and it just continues. If you delay the game, if you are able to just buy time, then Kiva is going to become more and more oppressive on Samuro on the map, and eventually is going to start to take down forts, which will deliver a huge chunk of experience, and he will start to attack keeps. The question just simply is, can you buy that time? Because Leftovers are currently doing all they can to snowball this game a bit and pressure Granit Gaming, while Samuro is still not quite as oppressive as he can be when he, for example, reaches level 20.
Yeah, Samuro is the factor here, and as long as they can get a lead, we talked about this before, if they get a lead, they can maybe win this. If they fall behind and lose a keep, it's probably game over as we see it. The finally fort taken down by Samuro, but he's so far away from getting a second that the lead is still way in Leftovers' favor.
It's a little bit reminiscent from the old Asmodan style that we had in 2016, 2015, where with Asmodan and Taste for Blood, you were always trying to survive the early game so that later on in the match you have enough damage built up on him so that you can just like clear everything out and start winning the game. This is a bit of a similar dynamic that we have. A weaker early game that you're willing to accept, where you're accepting that you don't win the Protector, and then later on in the game you're all of a sudden trying to ramp up. And that's what we're seeing up here to the top again. More pressure against the second fort. And as you said, you're absolutely right. The experience is still on Leftover side, but Granit Gaming now has at least the same talent as their opponent.
Mr. Cowdell, might I draw your attention to Exhibit A, Locust Brood from Exhibit Abathur. They need a keep, so they go for push potential without the sieging locusts, without the exploding locusts. This is unusual, to say the minimum.
I haven't seen that talent in competitive play in Europe in ages. So it was an old school build where you on 1, 4, and 16 really try to heavily commit to Locust, but that has already, like after a while, Blizzard just realized, okay, this is a bit too easy and too strong, so they started to reduce damage and hit points. But the 16 talent can still be powerful. But it also means that in order to get value, Abathur has to move out far onto the map.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, the map is being pretty pushed up by Samuro, especially in his top lane. He's looking for another fort here. ETC and the rest of his team coming in to clean out the minions here. This will save top fort for the moment. And right now, the question is, which lane's Abathur going to push? It can't really be bot lane, because that's where the objective is. He will die. So top lane might be the lane to push here, or maybe just focus on mid lane, the one where the fort is the healthiest.
Yeah, and so he's already going for it again. So Blaze is Blaze is having a horrible game because Blaze is basically the janitor that has to clean up copies and locusts. That's what's going on here now.
Rip fort.
And Polyboss is not going to have a lot of fun with this. But there's the second fort that goes down. So Abathur and Samuro are getting more value. The problem is, you still are now in a setup where those protectors are becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And you need to eventually just face the music here. And that's going to be the big question. Can they?
This is a tier 2 lane. If they move in with the protector now, they can either go for the fort if they want to play it safe, but with Samuro on the map, you might as well just go aggro and open up a win condition for yourself and just move in for the keep in the bot lane. So this is an opportunity for Leftovers as Stukov slowly channels up that protector. Kurwa has arrived. He's joined his team. This could be a 5v5, potentially the first one Granit are willing to commit to.
Yeah, he has a 16 now, he has a 7. He can really start to chunk a lot of the damage at this point. And we are going to see exactly that happening. Item control already going on. If Granit Gaming is able to win a Protector, this would be a massive boost for them.
Fear on just Johanna, but she's tanking through. Purification salvo lands. Valkyrie hits nothing, but the bunker is blocking so much damage, and Minecraft getting shot by the rotating turret on the conveyor belt here. Takes huge damage, and down goes Johanna.
Johanna is dead, and that's the kill that Leftovers needed. They want this Protector. They know that in the late game, they will have huge problems against Samuro. So they try and end it early. Do they get another kill here? They're trying to go, burning down the copy of Raid Boss, but can they confirm an actual kill? Do we have a lockdown against Minecraft available or against Knappe? Not the case here. Abathar up at the top has already dropped to 16. He's trying to push the lane out, and in the meantime, Samuro is back in the mid lane, claiming another structure.
This is the idea. All Granit Gaming know they're losing these fights. All they're trying to do right now is give time for Abathar to push, give time for Samuro to push. If a keep opens, that's endgame condition for Granit. That's all they're trying to do. Survive and open a keep.
And at the same time, Granit Gaming, they know very well that if they win a team fight, then with the help of Abathar and Samuro and maybe a Protector, they could potentially even end the game.
This is smart.
But leftovers, really smart. They are trying to go for it as we speak. End it early. That's what you have to do. Here comes the Valkyrie. They're trying to go for kill, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Genji is down. The defense is strong so far, but the core already lost the shields down to 50%. This could be it. Can they defend somehow? Down goes Cassia, but the Protector is still in play.
It's got so much damage. 8%, 5%. Protector's popping. There's still 2 heroes. The damage is too high. Potiboss left unattended, and leftovers defend their HGC Europe spot. What a clutch move. Absolutely the right call to go for core.
Their gamble paid off, but you could really already tell how much of a problem a level 20 Samuro would have been here.
Yeah.
He already claimed 3 forts, and Abathar went in 2. If the defense happens here and they are 20 versus 20, leftovers knew. This is getting worse and worse with every level they claim, so let's make sure that we end it right now.
Longer that game went on for, it was almost guaranteed. If that hadn't ended the game and a keep had been taken, Granit would have won the game. Simple as that if they could get in before the next Protector. So that push in there, because the Protector only lost like a quarter of its health on the keep, that was a clutch core call.
Especially after they got the kills and everything, but yeah, that was definitely rough. If the shields have remained a little bit longer, there were so many ifs there, but they said, guys, let's win it now, let's take the game and make sure that we secure this spot. And congratulations, really well played. Leftovers with a very clean series, 4-1. It's of course very sad for